The Boeing 747 passenger jet.
One final bow for aviation royalty, the very last.
Is it true the iconic Boeing 747, the queen of the skies, is getting a major makeover? The plane that once soared with 4 engines now flies with just 2. Sounds intriguing, but why the change? In 1969, when the original Boeing 747 made its grand debut, back then it needed those 4 engines because the technology at the time had limitations. The engines available simply didn't have enough power to lift such a massive aircraft with only 2 engines, so 4 engines it was. But fast forward to today and things have changed. The new Concept 2 engine Boeing 747. This sleeker version is causing quite a stir in the aviation world. It's not just about reducing the number of engines, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in air travel. Why is this shift such a big deal? And how did engineers make the once unthinkable idea of 2-engine 747 finally feasible? To understand that, we need to dive into the world of technological advancements and how they've transformed the way we fly. Back in the day, rules said that big planes flying over oceans or far off places needed at least 3 engines for safety. So making a twin-engine 747 seemed impossible, even if they had the know-how. But now, in the 21st century, things have changed. Jet engines have got better thanks to cool stuff like high bypass turbofans and strong materials. Now planes can have 2 engines and still be safe and reliable. These cool improvements have made it normal for long flights to use just 2 engines. Think of planes like the Boeing Tri-7 and the Airbus A350. Nowadays it's pretty obvious that planes with 4 engines might be losing out to the twin-engine ones. Well, twin-engine jets are not only save fuel, but also can be used on more routes. Plus they need less fixing up, which makes planning flights smoother for airlines. We got some amazing advancements in jet engines. In today's world, it's clear that planes with 2 engines are going to be more common than ones with 4. They're more efficient, can adapt better and need less fixing up, which makes life easier for airlines. This shift started showing as early as 1974, just 4 years after the 747 took off. That's when another big plane, the Airbus A300, came along with only 2 engines. We could see this shift way back in 1974, just 4 years after the big debut of the 747. That's when another wide-body plane called the Airbus A300 started flying. It didn't carry as many people or fly as far as the 747. It only had 2 engines. Around that time, Boeing was already thinking about making long flights more efficient with smaller planes that could still go far. So the idea of using 2 engines for long haul was already in the air. When Airbus brought out the 787 Dreamliner, it was like everyone's moving towards planes with 2 engines, so they came up with their twin-engine plane, the Airbus A350. There used to be this idea that the bigger planes carrying more people were always more efficient, but now with super efficient jets like the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350, which have fancy new engines and lighter builds, that old idea is getting challenged. We know that old idea about planes with 4 engines burning up a lot of fuel. Well, turns out it's true. And in an industry where making money can be tough, saving fuel is important. So switching the Boeing 747 to just 2 engines doesn't cut down on fuel costs. It also means less money spent on fixing up those engines. And let's not forget about the environment. Using fewer engines helps airlines look greener and reduce their carbon footprint. Now, we've got 2-engine Boeing 747, but some folks might be worried about how well it works and if it's safe. Fair questions. So, how does a plane that's used to relying on 4 engines keep up its performance with just 2? Well, here's where Rolls-Royce steps in. You might be thinking, what's a fancy car brand like Rolls-Royce got to do with plane engines? We might know Rolls-Royce for their fancy cars, but did you know they also make engines? Yeah, not just for planes, but for ships and tanks too. Their newest engine project, the UltraFan, is all about efficiency. It's designed for planes like the Airbus A350, Boeing 777 and 787. Now, what sets the UltraFan apart is its big fan measuring 140 inches across. That's even bigger than the engines General Electric makes for the Boeing 777X. Rolls-Royce is busy building the prototype. The UltraFan engine is a bit too big. It won't even fit under the world's largest twin-engine plane, the Boeing 777, so Rolls-Royce has some plans to shrink it down in the future. Before the 737 MAX got grounded in 2019, Boeing was getting ready to launch a new mid-size plane. Rolls-Royce was keen on making an engine for it. Because of Boeing's tight deadlines, Rolls-Royce couldn't finish making the UltraFan engine, but then they decided to make it even bigger. Now, why would they do that? There's no official word, but chances are they're gearing up to use these engines for a twin 747. But Boeing's also busy with another big project, the 777X. It's set to be the most advanced twin-engine plane yet, and they've already picked out an engine for it. Now, let's talk about another engine option, the General Electric's GE9X. It's got a huge fan measuring 128 inches wide, but there are whispers that General Electric might be working on an even bigger engine. That powers a massive twin-engine plane like the concept Boeing 747. But the real question is, how will this twin-engine Boeing 747 shake up the aviation world? That's what we're all itching to know. So while there are clear economic and performance perks to the twin-engine 747, airlines thinking of using it have a lot to mull over. They'll look at things like whether it fits in their current fleet, if it meets regulations, and what customers will think. Airlines with lots of Boeing planes might see it as a good move since it aligns with what they already have in place for maintenance and training. Bringing in a new type of plane costs a pretty penny, so airlines will want to make sure it's worth the investment. And let's not forget about the folks in charge of regulations. They'll need to give the thumbs up on safety, fuel efficiency, and keeping noise level down before this plane can hit the skies commercially. Bringing in the twin-engine Boeing 747 isn't just about Boeing. It's a challenge for other plane makers too. See, by evolving this classic plane, Boeing is showing they're all about pushing boundaries. That might nudge their competitors to step up their game. Airbus, for example, might feel the pressure to come up with new designs or beef up their existing ones to stay in the race. It's like a friendly competition in the skies. This healthy competition between fleets is expected to push even more advancements in aviation tech. That means we could see air travel becoming even more efficient, comfortable and eco-friendly in the future. If lots of airlines start using the twin-engine Boeing 747, it could change the game by cutting down on how much it costs to fly. Exciting times ahead. This could mean cheaper tickets for folks like us who want to take long-haul flights. With this new design, airlines might be able to offer direct flights between cities that used to need lots of layovers. So more people could hop on a plane and zip straight to their destination without all the extra stops. Less time spent travelling and more choices for passengers. Now, let's keep an eye on how the market reacts to this twin-engine Boeing 747. Some folks might be wondering if having fewer engines makes the plane less safe or able to handle engine problems. Even though today's engines are super safe, some might still worry, and that worry could raise concerns for regulators, airlines and passengers alike. You know, some people might feel a bit nostalgic about the old 4-engine design. They might see this new version as moving away from what made the 747 special in the world of planes. People can get pretty attached to the classic look, and that emotional connection could sway how the public sees it and whether some airlines decide to use it. Don't worry, the twin-engine Boeing 747 should still be comfy and fancy, just like the original. But there might be some small differences in your flying experience, like how loud it is or how the air feels inside, all because of those new engines. Boeing will probably make sure that passengers still feel comfy and maybe even more so in the new model. They might come up with cool ideas for the cabin, seats and entertainment to go along with those new engines. The twin-engine Boeing 747 could change not just the aviation world, but also how countries trade and people travel. With flights using less fuel and costing less, it might make international business trips cheaper and let more folks visit far-off vacation spots. The Queen of the Skies might have a new look, but she's still ruling the skies. Do share your thoughts in the comments below, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you go. We'll meet you in the next one.